Hello. It's a minute too, so I'll just start now. Stream. I don't know. I usually wait a couple minutes before starting the album in stream length. I usually wait a few minutes before starting the album in streams like this. Okay. Hello, Cammy. Hello, Raven Graham. As you can see on screen, we're going to be listening to Sunbather by Deaf Heaven, who are one of my favorite bands. Hello, Ennui. Deaf Heaven aren't just one of my favorite bands. One of my headmates really loves them too. This is a very Deaf Heaven loving system, I guess. Hello, Anarcho Analog. There's a lot of people in chat. I forgot how much, like, me just talking to stream, how many views that'll get. But yes, hello. I don't know. Starting conversations in these is always difficult. How have people been? I don't know. It's been like a couple weeks since I did one of these, I think. My week's been, uneventful. Watched Danganronpa 3. Because, I wanted to rewatch it. And we're gonna be talking about it. And, unlike UDG, it's not a, 15-hour-long game with gameplay I don't enjoy. So I was actually looking forward to it. Hello, Hawthorne. Hello. I'm gonna start music now. Tell me if it's too loud or too quiet. Like, it is just supposed to be a background thing. Because talking in silence seems boring. But, yeah, we watched, Danganronpa 3. I've had a while since I, first watched it to sit on a lot of the issues it has. And rewatching it kind of made me come to terms with those issues and, being able to see them again firsthand after so long kind of let me really cement some opinions. But I'm not going to talk about that now, because at some point there's going to be a whole fucking stream about that. Been chilling, hung out with some friends, with some vaccinated friends for the first time in a year. Oh, hell yeah. Imagine having friends. Nah, I don't know. I don't have many IRLs. But, that is something exciting that happened to me this week. I got second dose. Kinda no-sold on side effects, which was, cool. I, kind of planned out my schedule this week to give myself just, a couple days of buffer. To be if second dose side effects do just fuck me up, it's 2 streams, and then, just talking to chat, which is always a pretty easy stream. And so it's just I am prepared in case anything bad happens, and then it was I guess my nose was kind of runny. I guess, I was a little tired, but I'm always tired. I just, I was giving myself fucking imposter syndrome on if I had fucking second dose side effects. My first one was fine, no problems outside of some slight arm soreness. Yeah, I had that too. My arm is still, a little sore where I got, stabbed. But, otherwise it's no worse than, getting blood drawn or anything. Going up a bit, Raven Graham, I've been super busy wanting to rewatch Danganronpa 3 as well, but no time. Yeah, that, rap. Yeah. I don't think it'll be a surprise to anyone who's, gonna be tuning into that stream that, I'm a Danganronpa 3 fan, because, like, I've always been the Danganronpa 3 fan for those streams. But, still am. I thought I was sick on Wednesday, but fortunately, it was just a cold, I guess. That's nice, that's nice. I've always had, like, a very good immune system. So it's like, I get sick, like, once every 18 months, maybe. And then it's like, you know, have a runny nose, have a headache, lay in bed for a day, and then I'm fine. Which, you know, it's nice because I don't have to deal with that, but let me tell you, that sucked when I was in, like, school, because I just never got time off. There was just one time in high school where I was like, hey, Dad, I feel a little under the weather. I could go to school today, but can I just not? Like, I just want a pretense to not go to school because I can never get out of school for being sick. And he was just like, sure, whatever. No, that was fun. Hello, Shark. Been spending time. Been spending a lot of time lately, just playing Virtue's Last Reward. Can't wait for you to see that game. Yeah, like, full disclosure, I know some VLR spoilers. I haven't played it, but I have seen a friend live tweet it, and oh my god, the game looks so dumb. The game looks dumb in what looks like a really fun way, but I can't tell if that's just because, like, I had no context for anything, and so I had, like, never had any context for it. But I am definitely looking forward to that. I don't know. 999 streams have been fun. Looking forward to finishing that next week. And then, like, moving on to the next game. VLR is incredibly fun. yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think it's gonna be. The protagonist is fucking awful. The protagonist of 999 has been, like, surprisingly palatable to me. Like, he's fine. He is serviceable. I just realized I forgot to plug in my if I don't plug in my phone before stream, it will be dead afterwards because I used the phone version of Beacon Studio. I wanted to watch the streams, but I'd rather play it myself first. Understandable. They have been very good streams. I've been having a blast with them, and I think that there has been some really good stuff. It's a very different vibe from when I'm streaming with MathWiz, because it's like, it's also, a lot of the time, it's just like, a thing will happen, and then Egg and I will use that as a tangent to just talk about whatever. And then it's like, 15 minutes later, it's like, oh right, there's a game here we should be playing. And I always really enjoy that. God, this album is so good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to moving on to the other games in the franchise. Especially just, like, knowing the few pieces of VLR that I do. That also happens with the DR streams. Yes, but in a very different way. When MathWiz and I get off topic, it's usually, like, more, more tied to the game. And it's like, the thing is, if that happens, MathWiz will still be playing the game in the background, usually. When it happens in the Egg streams, it's like, we just stop, and it's like, okay, we're podcasting about whatever shit we're talking about now. Which I'm really into. It's just like very different vibes. It's also very different because I don't know the game, unlike Danganronpa. It gets super cool. Got into watching her streams and collabs. Yay! I'm glad that I got someone to check her out. Because like we're friends, and you know, I'm happy to see that people like my friends. And I'm happy that I'm pushing viewers her way. She's really fun. Yeah. Like, I was like, when she became a VTuber, I was like, oh, friend, let's do collabs. And then the freaking 999 streams happened, and it was like, oh, we have like actually a lot of chemistry. Which is like, you know, you can be someone's best friend and not have the on-screen chemistry. So I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know how the Matho streams were gonna go, but I didn't know how the Egg streams were gonna go. And I don't know. I think it's great stuff. Yeah. At some point, I want to answer Curious Cat questions, because I said, like, last time I did one of these streams, I was like, oh, I'll answer Curious Cat questions on stream, and then never fucking did that. And the questions from last time are still in there, and I don't think too many people ask new questions for this time. So I think I'm just, like, going to do that from, like, last time's questions. One sec. Water. So, I don't know. Guess you're not a catfish? I don't know how to answer that question, but yeah. But no. I'm just a viperfish, not catfish. I'm like trying to set up questions. That was smart. Ran Nehelenia. As always, a cute fish. Thank you. God, there was a thing in the last 999 stream where Egg and I just started making cat sounds back and forth until she made like an uncannily accurate cat sound. Okay, I'm still setting up questions, because, yeah. Schrodinger's Curious Cat. Shame I missed it. The VOD is still up. Like, VODs are up for all of my streams. Even if you weren't there, you didn't miss it. I wish I knew how to, like, crop Windows. Anyway. Wait. Okay. Now I fucking... Okay, here we go. Gonna start with the daily question, just because. Is it even possible for Death Heaven to make another album this good? They've been consistently stellar, but this might be unmatchable. I don't know. I don't. If Death Heaven go and release another album that is this good, I will not be surprised. I think they have it in them, but at the same time, if they don't, I'll understand. Because, yeah, this album is unmatchable. I'd love to see them top it, but who knows if that will actually happen. So, first question. If you could wake up tomorrow, then one new ability, which would it be? The ability to change my body such that that everything that causes me dysphoria isn't a thing anymore. Next question. This one's more interesting. Is there anything or anyone that inspired you to start VTubing, or did you just like the idea of it in general? It's very, you can track when I wanted to become a VTuber back to a very specific, moment. And that moment was when I was watching, Artemis's debut stream. And I looked at it and was like, oh, I want to do this. This seems really cool. And then it's just like, I kind of sat on that for a bit, and then, I think it was like a month later, I actually started thinking through what I could do as a streamer. And it was just like, music streams, talking to chat, showing old movies. And it's like, at some point it just coalesced, and it became a thing. And, I don't know. It's going well, I think. I would like to have more subscribers, but I appreciate the community I have, even if it doesn't seem to be growing yet. When did you first get into Godspeed You, Black Emperor? I'm not sure if I remember this one. Just because, like, it's been a fair few years at this point. I know I got into them through Lift Your Skinny Fists. And I know that the first time I listened to Storm, it fucking blew my mind. But I can't remember, like, when it was specifically. It was a few years ago. A few years ago now. God, Godspeed You are a great band. I remember discovering Godspeed You from a review on Sputnik back in 2012 and was like, oh my god, this is rad. Oh, that's kind of what it was for me. I think I just found it off of, like, Rate Your Music. If not that, then, like, picking up recommendations from friends. Sorry, I should sit up for YouTube video. And it was just, like, picking it up, you know, from online music spaces. How many pairs of, spectacles do you have? One? I'm not made of money. I can't afford more than one. Glasses are way more expensive than they have any right to be. Do you like Do you like the color turquoise? Yeah. I've always been a fan of like reds and blues, but I also really like green, and I really love the space where green and blue meet. So it's like teal, turquoise, all that. And you know, you can see that in my thumbnails. I have a very consistent color font, the color for the font I use, and that's like a teal color. My first introduction to Godspeed was when I had a panic attack listening to Skinny Fists. God, that sounds terrible, but that sounds cool. God. Skinny Fists is an incredible album. Do you play any instruments? Yeah. I play guitar. I think I would say, like, as far as physical instruments go, guitar is my main instrument. Just one sec. Gonna try, like, I actually should not do this while there is, like, actual music playing, but I do have a guitar. I play it under some additional play. I do experimental music, which means I mostly just hit it instead of actually playing, like, chords and notes. But yes, I play guitar. I have an electric piano that I lost the power cord for at some point in a move. Play Freebird. I don't know how to play that song. Yeah, I lost the power cord for my piano at some point. But really, like, where I make most of my music is in DAWs. You know? So, like, a lot of people are split on, like, if a DAW can be considered an instrument. It totally can, but, I say, like, my main, like, instrument, digital or physical, is, DAWs. That, electronic music is mostly what I make. That's it. I do want to, like, learn more instruments. Do instruments of torture count? I'm not gonna count those here now. But, I want to get, like, a bass guitar, and I want to get drums. Because learning to play both seems like they could be very fun. And I'd be much more interested in playing them, like, more straightforwardly than I play guitar. So, but, I mean, instruments are expensive. So that hasn't happened yet. At some point, I guess. Hopefully. What album or artist first got you significantly into non-mainstream music? So this is a tricky question, because what the definition of non-mainstream music can be very broad, and it can very much differ based on, like, time. I think for me, when I first started getting into music that wasn't, like, popular and contemporary, was when I watched JoJo and first heard Yes and got really into them. But, like, Yes are a very popular band, so I'm not going to say that they aren't mainstream. But the thing is that, like, Yes led me to checking out a lot of other bands that were referenced in JoJo. And I think for that, I would say Soft Machine. Soft Machine were, like, the first jazz band I really liked. And they're, like, a very experimental, like, prog rock sort of thing. That are still, like, way, like... they're still doing, like, 20-minute jazz passages. And that's, like... their album sold well, at the time, but people don't really know them anymore unless they are, like, jazz fans, prog fans, whatever. So, yeah, I think Soft Machine are, like, really where my progression from, like, popular or, like, known stuff kind of shifted downward. And from there, like, it was a while until I started getting into, like, listening to, like, breakcore artists on Bandcamp who, like, 3 other people have listened to. But, you know, it was a ways between those 2 steps. This one's simple. Have you played Katamari Damacy? No. I think it's a PlayStation game, and I've never had a PlayStation. Is doping cheating? Depends if it's not in the rule. It depends on the rules, but usually the rules say it is. So, yes. Do you like synth pop? I believe Katamari Damacy is on Switch now. Oh, interesting. It always seemed like a neat game, but PlayStation was just not a thing I interacted with. And I don't play a ton of games now, so even if it is accessible to me now, I'm probably not gonna go get into it just because, like, if I bought it, I wouldn't play it. Do you like synth pop? Yeah. I've actually been going back and listening to a lot of Yellow Magic Orchestra stuff lately. That's yep. Yellow Magic Orchestra are incredible. Just, you know, pop, like, top-tier pop music. Excellent stuff. If you haven't listened to Yellow Magic Orchestra, I really suggest you go do that. Because, like, stuff like Thousand Knives or Raigi are, like, favorite tracks of mine. Do Yellow Magic Orchestra count as non-mainstream? Probably, yeah. Would you like to play a video game called Panzer Dragoon? This feels oddly specific. No. What are some songs you know how to transgender? I think that J-pop has some songs which are very Nika such as Promise. If you're gonna send me questions, please make them legible. I was exaggerating the typos there, but I don't get the question. If it's about trans songs, I don't know. I never really got the trend of, like, correlating music to, like, trans issues or whatever. Have Ran ever owned a Master System? I don't know what that is, so no. Does Ran have girlfriends? Nope. I'm single. Not really looking for partners though. For girlfriends though. I know. That's just not, like, a very immediate concern of mine. Are you a carnivore or a vegivore? The word vegivore causes me distress. But yes, I am vegetarian. Like, sometimes I will eat chicken, but that's just, if I'm doing that, it's for, convenience sake more than, like, because I want to, because I am disabled and can't always cook and don't always have, like, easily accessible vegetarian food available. So, but overall, I'm vegetarian, yes. Master System was Sega's 8-bit console. I see. Yeah, no. What if there was a VTuber version of the Avengers? Would you join it? No. Superheroes aren't my thing, but also yeah, big events are really my thing. I think if I was in a collab that had more than 3 people, or more than 4 people, I would die. I can't even watch streams that have 5 people in them before I start just getting overwhelmed. How many more questions are there? Have you ever been into Digimon? No. What kind of car do you drive? I don't. What if you made a brand Nihilenia Facebook page? I wouldn't, because Facebook is shit. I have never used Facebook, and I will never use Facebook. Because Facebook is awful. Shouldn't it be Curious Fish instead of Curious Cat since you're a fish? We already made that joke a little bit ago. Or, a permutation of that joke. Favorite Nisio work? I did a whole stream about this. But it's Monogatari. Specifically, Neko White, is my favorite book of his. Have you ever played Sonic Adventure? No, I don't play games very often. Games just aren't a thing I do, which makes it weird that I get so many game-oriented questions, but I guess, VTuber culture is more game-focused than I am. Does that make sense? Anyway, that's it. Kind of rushed through those a bit, I guess, but... God, fuck Facebook. It feels like every other month we get a new article about how Facebook is, awful, and how Facebook is just, sabotaging everything, and how Facebook is, promoting white supremacy, and how Facebook is, letting a homegrown fascist movement, use their servers for, promotion. And it's it would be as simple as just banning the Nazis, but they don't. But it's not even that they don't, plenty of platforms are, ambivalent to the rise of fascism, but they also just have the fucking data harvesting, and the way that they encourage all of the white supremacy units. God, Facebook is shit. Facebook is so shit. If you ever see an account that is purporting to be me on Facebook, you will just know immediately that it is not me, because I would not do that shit. Yes. Yeah, Facebook is shit. I don't know. I probably went through those a little bit too fast, but I don't know. A lot of them were just simple yes or no questions. I still don't like the fucking Vegivore question, because carnivore or vegetarian is already a set of words. Some are kind of weird, yeah. Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. Why was that? Wait, what did I say that, like, made for an Emerson, Lake, and Palmer reference? Yeah, God, the fucking trans question. I don't know what was going on there. And, like, if the person who wrote that is, like, watching now or in the future, I'm sorry for, like, dismissing it, but I have no idea what you were asking. Oh, because Cammy said yes? Fair enough. Bit of a stretch, but yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Emerson, Lake, and Palmer are cool. I used to be a very big fan of them, back in my prog rock phase. How common are prog rock phases among, like, music nerds? I feel like I have a bunch of friends who went through those, where it's like, you get into music and you discover prog rock, and you're really pretentious about it, and then you discover, like, Nightcore or Car Seat Headrest or, like, shit like that, and, like, suddenly you actually have diversity in your taste. The existence of the band, yes, implies the existence of the solo artist, no. There is probably someone who performs under the name No. Like, it would be weird if there wasn't. I think a ton of kids get into prog rock. Prog is the most experimental and ambitious music a 14-year-old will know. Yeah, I suppose, like... And I mean, some of it really is, experimental, like King Crimson, or Soft Machine. So it's just like, ooh, look how smart I am. I listen to Vandergraaf Generator and Dream Theater. Dream Theater suck. I know it's a meme to shit on Dream Theater, but, like, I just actually don't like it. Maybe I'll give them a second chance someday, but... I'm in my math rock phase, so I'm assuming prog rock is up next. You can just stop in math rock. Like, I love a lot of prog, but, like, you can also just stop in math rock and, like, stick there. Dream Theater are the fucking worst. Yeah, like, I always feel bad about, like, attacking common, like, music nerd punching bags. Like, after a point, it feels like, are Nickelback really that bad? Like, was Justin Bieber really that bad? And then it's like, the only benefit to listening to Dream Theater is then seeing a Dragon Ball Z movie and being baffled by the Dream Theater songs on the soundtrack. God, is that a thing that happened? That sounds bizarre. Yeah, but it's like, the thing that, like, common musical punching bags is, like, they become those punching bags for a reason. It's like... But after a point, it's like, the hate gets to such a vitriolic level that it's like, they can't possibly be this bad. The story of Trunks has a soundtrack full of Dream Theater and Buckethead? I mean, Buckethead is cool. I'll give them credit there. But now I'm just thinking about fucking acceptable punching bags in the music, like, nerd community. And are we ever going to get such acceptable a target as Nostalgia Critic's The Wall? Like, Will we ever get something so easy to beat up on as, like, that mess? The like, week after that dropped was just such a time. And if there's anybody in chat who doesn't know what I'm talking about, I am so sorry. I'm glad someone knows what I mean, at least. I never actually listened to that album because I value my time and I could be listening to other things that are better. Like this, or like 40 minutes of harsh noise, or literal silence. But a lot of easy punching bag music is actually really great, like the Korn dubstep album. Yeah, I think there are two kinds of musical punching bag targets. Like Lou Reed's Machine Metal whatever is like, you know, it's a decent like ambient noise album. But everyone who makes fun of it is like the kind of person who doesn't listen to noise music. So they're not really the right audience for it. And so it's like, a lot of the time, the acceptable punching bags are like experimental music that isn't really meant for that audience. And yes, I am including the Korn dubstep album in here, because that is, I will say that is experimental. I will not rest until people know how great Saint Anger is. Yeah, Saint Anger is another thing where it's like, it can be like genuinely experimental from a lens. But, like, but then is also just, like, other punching bags, like, fucking, Logic, or Nickelback, where it's like, no, this is every bit as bad as people make it out to be. I saw, Folding Ideas made a video about Nostalgia Critics The Wall, but I saw the link and went, nope. Yeah, I watched that video when it came out, it's good, but also, I just enjoy content that's, like, analytical content about Channel Awesome. Because Channel Awesome was, like, such a thing for so long, and it's really interesting to look back on. Because it's the oddest mix of, like, sincerity and irony, and, like, insincerity, and, like, people just doing shit for cash grabs, but also, like, people doing stuff that, like, there is no reason for it to exist other than they want it to exist. And it's just such an odd thing that, like, seeing people talk about it is, like, a really fascinating thing to me. My problem with the widely hated music stuff is that people just repeat the same critique and are clearly just saying other people's opinions as their own. Yeah, like, that can be a problem, and honestly, I can fall into that sometimes. That's why I will freely admit to not having, like, seen or watched the fucking Nostalgia Critics The Wall thing. Like, I have no take on it, other than that it is a bad idea inherently. But, like, I have seen other people talk about it, and it just sounds so funny. And so it's just, like, something easy to make fun of. God, this is just such a good album. Like, you gotta see The Wall for the bit where he adapts In the Flesh as an anti-candy culture song. I have heard about that, And it comes up in the fucking Folding Ideas video. I have conflicted feelings on The Wall as, like, an actual album. Like, Pink Floyd's The Wall is something that, like, I do really like it, but I think the album is very mixed, just because I think that, like, as a narrative, it's good, but as, like, a piece of listening music, a lot of the interludes sort of fail to be interesting in ways that in the movie they can be, like, fantastic. And I think, like, if they had released The Wall as, like, a single album, and then, you know, maybe release an extended version of it with the movie, I think that would be, I think, words. I think it would have worked better that way. But I do love, the movie version. It's one of my favorite movies, and I just, like, really love a lot of it. Nostalgia critics, The Wall makes such obviously stupid points that it makes me like the original album. Wow. Ouch. God. Yeah, I know. I will be happy if I never watch another Nostalgia Critic video in my life. Like, I don't want... I had that fucking phase of my life, and I am well past it now, and I don't want to go back. It is the worst thing that Corey Taylor of Slipknot has ever been involved in. I don't know. I feel like that's, like, meant as a dig against Slipknot, but I don't know. I think I have listened to some Slipknot here and there, and it was, like, alright. Twin Nemesis. Hello! Hello, Twin Nemesis. Yeah. My take on new metal is just, like, it exists for me. It's not something I love, it's not something I dislike. I really like Linkin Park, but my favorite album of theirs is 1,000 Suns, which isn't really new metal. It's more like abstract, ambient, like, electronic rock. Okay, y'all are making me intrigued in this now. There's famous people in it. It depends how famous Slipknot are in, well, I think it was, like, 2019. Like, I think, like, it's the kind of thing where there is a certain level of fame, but also it's, like, the kind of fame that has Joan Jett will be touring with, like, Styx or whatever. Where it's like, both of these bands are things that people know. But people don't really care about either of them. Just like, a guy from Slipknot. That band that people know and cared about 20 years ago. I do actually like Slipknot a great deal, for the record. Fair enough, fair enough. Corey Taylor did it because his son likes Nostalgia Critic for IRC. I mean, that would make sense. I can't imagine why else you would do that. I still can't believe that they got, like, an actual musician to do the music for it. And, like, an actual credible musician with a career that, like, musical career going back at least, like, several years, was willing to put his name on that project. I've never listened to any of Rob Scallon's music, and I don't plan to, just because, like, there is so much music, and I haven't, like, actually seen any recommendations to listen to his stuff, so I don't have any push for it, but, like, you know, he is a person who had X amount of following and then did this. And then suddenly, this is what he's known for. He's the competent musician who made Nostalgia Critics The Wall a thing. God, what a weird topic to end up spending, like, 10 minutes talking about. Like, I don't know, I think a lot of people, like, unilaterally will point at channel loss and stuff and be like, this is cringe. But I feel like, as much as I loathe the term, it's like, shit like Linkara having his, like, 40-minute lore videos masquerading as comic book reviews, or, like, all that shit, like, that's sincere. There is effort there, even if it's, you know, a single guy putting in all of the work. He cares about that. But like, something like Nostalgia Critics The Wall is kind of cringy, because it's like, you cannot care about this. You cannot, like, I don't know. I don't think Doug Walker cares about anything at this point. I think the job has just run away his brain. I find internet gamer culture is slipping into the mainstream fascinating. In what way? I assume that's, like, talking about the, like, like Dan Harmon producing Game Grumps YouTube Red series, or Disney airing shows meant to be like the streamers the kids watch instead of Disney Channel. Yeah, I mean, with the internet becoming a wider and wider, like, known and used thing, remember AOC playing Among Us with Twitch streamers? Like, yeah, that was wild. I think it's just that, like, the internet is a part of people's lives. And nerd culture, gamer culture, is mainstream. Nerd culture has been mainstream for a decade. Marvel movies have been making, like, hundreds of millions of dollars for so long, and have been making billions of dollars for so long. That kind of shit is mainstream. And it's like, there's a lot of factors why, but it's just like, it makes sense that, like, you see this kind of stuff happening. But even so, the fucking AOC Among Us thing was wild. Like, I don't know. A lot of people have takes on AOC, and, like, I think it's just that leftists don't like success. I consider myself a leftist. Like, I'm definitely not, like, a fucking centrist. I'm definitely not, like, a fascist or, like, right-wing anything. Like, I am a leftist, but god, leftists can be such shit. And the way people interact around AOC really, like, exemplifies that. Like, people are just so weird about her. Banger track. The only thing leftists hate more than right-wingers is other leftists. The Yeah, and fucking, like, leftists also hate, like, 14-year-olds on the internet for some reason. Like, leftists just hate, like, put all of their effort into hating things that they have no reason to actually hate. Because it's easier to harass a 14-year-old than enact meaningful praxis. I know. I'm still thinking about the fucking, like, Channel Awesome stuff that came up, because, like, there are parts of that, like, the stuff that I mentioned that just, like, I do think about, like, every so often. That's, like, I don't know. It ties into just, like, I hate cringe culture. And, like, a lot of cringe culture shit, like, you see a lot of people calling sincere efforts cringy. And I feel like that's why a lot of people will, like, go back and hate on Channel Awesome stuff. There's plenty of reasons to hate old Channel Awesome stuff. Like, the fact that it was run by fucking predators and abusers and shit. But, like, God, don't hate sincerity. If something has problems, focus on those problems. Don't focus on the sincerity. This is a general thing that I will, like, this is a hill I will die on. Sincerity is never going to be the problem. It doesn't matter what the idea is. Like, if the idea has problems, it's not the sincerity. That's like the root cause. Yeah, agreed. I appreciate that things like, I don't know. I feel like cringe culture, like, was just, like, a huge thing online for a long time, and you still see it everywhere. But it feels like it is slowly receding. And, like, it's not so ubiquitous anymore, which I really appreciate. Like, give sincerity a chance. A little sincerity goes a long way. And unfortunately, like, the damage done is the damage done. Cringe culture internet is never coming back. And I don't know. That's for better and for worse, because a lot was wrong with the internet before, and a lot is wrong with the internet now. And it like, you can have a Venn diagram of, like, the issues, but it's just like, I don't know. I do think the internet is getting worse in a lot of ways, but yeah, I don't know. This covers this like topic has, like, gone places. I don't even, like, know what the topic is anymore. Good. Okay, this music is so fucking good. Like, God. I hope Deaf Heaven put out a new album soon. I know that they did, like, that, like, live in the studio thing last year. But, like, a live in the studio album is, like, will never be, like, as good as, like, new material. Especially for a band who haven't released new music in years. It's been so long. Like, God, I think that was, like, fucking 2018 that, fuck, now I'm blanking on the name. Fuck, I'm blanking on the name of Deaf Heaven's last album. I'm just gonna fucking look it up. Ordinary Corrupt Human Love. It's been, like, years since then. Death Heaven was one of the first metal bands I listened to, and it felt like I skipped decades on how the genre progressed here. Interesting take, but yeah, I get that. Cause like, this doesn't sound like a lot of like what you think of when it comes to metal. This doesn't sound like death metal. It doesn't sound like Metallica. It doesn't sound like Black Sabbath. But it is still undeniably metal music. And I don't think you need to go back and get all of that history. It just like is very different from that. Death Heaven was my first extreme metal band. I don't know what the first extreme metal band I got into was. For me, like, getting into extreme metal was, like, kind of, like, a very slow thing. Because, it took me a while to be able to, deal with screamed vocals, like, harsh vocals. But, I know that there were, like, a few bands that I was like, okay, I don't like most extreme metal, but this is what I can, this is the one that I like. I don't listen to a lot of death metal still, though. Something about death metal just kind of rubs me the wrong way. God, I wish I could remember, like, what my first, extreme metal band was. I don't know. Anyway, that was, Sunbather by Death Heaven. Thanks everyone who, came by for this. Where's the fuck? Okay, there it is. But yeah, so yeah, thanks everyone who stopped by, was around for this. I had fun. I'm glad I did this stream. And I'm, glad people were here to talk and chat to and stuff. So, I don't know. Goodbye.